What happens when one of Hollywood's most beloved actresses walks onto a talk show stage expecting a friendly conversation, only to find herself ambushed by a host spiraling into jealousy and rage? It only took 31 seconds of Jennifer Hudson's first question for the entire interview to derail into one of the most shocking moments in daytime television history. Emma Stone arrived at the studio that afternoon with her usual warm smile, ready to discuss her latest film project. The audience welcomed her with thunderous applause as she made her way to the guest chair, waving graciously to the crowd. Jennifer Hudson sat across from her, but something felt different. There was a coldness in her eyes that Emma couldn't quite place. "So, Emma," Jennifer began, her tone already sharp, "you're here to talk about your new movie. Another one. How many is that now? Do you even keep count anymore?" Emma laughed nervously, trying to brush off the strange energy. "Well, I've been very fortunate to work on some amazing projects. This one is really special because—" "Special," Jennifer cut her off. "Right. Everything you do is special, isn't it? Must be nice to have studios just throwing roles at you left and right." The audience fell silent. Emma's smile faltered slightly, but she maintained her composure. "I work really hard for every opportunity I get. I think most actors would say the same thing." Jennifer leaned back in her chair, crossing her arms. "Most actors? Sure. But most actors don't have what you have. Most actors actually have to struggle. Most actors don't just waltz into Oscar nominations like they're picking up coffee." Emma shifted uncomfortably. "I'm sorry, Jennifer, but I did struggle. I auditioned for years before I got my first real break. I faced rejection just like everyone else in this industry." "Oh, please," Jennifer scoffed, rolling her eyes dramatically. "Spare me the humble routine. You grew up in a nice neighborhood, went to nice schools, had all the right connections. Some of us actually came from nothing." The tension in the studio was thick enough to cut. Emma's publicist, sitting off stage, looked alarmed and started making frantic gestures to the producers. But the cameras kept rolling. "I never claimed to have had the hardest journey," Emma said, her voice steady but strained. "Everyone's path is different. I respect your journey, just as I hope you'd respect mine." Jennifer laughed bitterly. "Respect. That's rich coming from someone who's taken roles that other actresses would kill for. Tell me, Emma, how does it feel to know that every time you say yes to a part, you're taking food off someone else's table? Someone who might actually need it?" Emma's jaw tightened. "That's not fair. That's not how this industry works, and you know it. Directors cast who they think is right for the role. I don't steal anything from anyone." "Right for the role," Jennifer repeated mockingly. "And you just happen to be right for every role, apparently. Action, drama, comedy, musicals. Is there anything you can't do? Or rather, is there anything you won't take from someone else?" The audience members were looking at each other in confusion and discomfort. This wasn't the lighthearted celebrity interview they'd expected. Emma took a deep breath, clearly trying to keep her cool. "Jennifer, I came here today to talk about my film and to have a nice conversation. I'm not sure what's happening right now, but this feels really hostile." "Hostile?" Jennifer's voice rose. "You want to talk about hostile? Let's talk about how hostile this industry is to women who don't fit your mold. Women who don't have your look, your background, your privilege. But sure, let's pretend you're the victim here." Emma stood up slightly, then sat back down, visibly distressed. "I have never claimed to be a victim. I'm aware of my privilege. I've spoken about it many times. But what you're doing right now, this isn't a conversation. This is an attack." "An attack!" Jennifer sneered. "Dramatic as always. You know what? That's perfect. Because that's what you do best, right? Playing the victim, making everything about you. Even now, on my show, you're trying to make yourself the center of attention." "Your show?" Emma's voice cracked slightly. "This is your show, Jennifer. I'm your guest. I came here as a courtesy, to support your program, and you're treating me like I'm your enemy." Jennifer stood up from her chair, her face twisted with anger. Support my program? Please. You came here because your publicist told you to. You came here because you need to promote your precious movie. Don't act like you're doing me some kind of favor. Emma stood up too, her hands shaking. I don't need to sit here and take this. I've been nothing but respectful to you. Respectful? Jennifer shouted. You wouldn't know respect if it hit you in your perfectly symmetrical face. You walk around Hollywood like you own the place, collecting awards and accolades like they're candy, and you expect everyone to just bow down and worship you. The audience gasped. Emma's eyes were filling with tears, but she held them back. I have never, ever acted that way. I don't know where this is coming from, but it's cruel, and it's unfair. Unfair? Jennifer was pacing now, gesturing wildly. You want to talk about unfair? Let's talk about how you got cast in that musical a few years back. The one I auditioned for. The one I was told I was too urban for. But they gave it to you instead. How's that for unfair? Emma's mouth dropped open. I didn't even know you auditioned for that. I'm sorry you didn't get it, but that has nothing to do with me. I didn't make that decision. Of course you didn't, Jennifer said sarcastically. You never make any decisions. Things just happen to fall into your lap. Must be exhausting being so lucky all the time. Emma wiped at her eyes quickly. This is insane. You're projecting your own frustrations onto me, and it's not okay. I didn't do anything to you. Jennifer laughed harshly. You didn't do anything. That's exactly right. You don't have to do anything. You just exist, and the world hands you everything. Meanwhile, the rest of us have to fight and claw for every single crumb. That's not true, Emma's voice finally broke. I have fought. I have worked. I have sacrificed. Just because my struggle doesn't look like yours doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Oh, here we go, Jennifer threw her hands up. The tears. Perfect. Because when things get tough, just cry, and everyone will feel sorry for poor little Emma Stone. Well, not today. Not on my show. Emma grabbed her purse from beside the chair. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. Running away? Jennifer taunted. Of course you are. Because that's what people like you do when you're finally confronted with reality. You run back to your mansion and your perfect life, and you never have to. Think about the damage you leave behind. Emma turned to face Jennifer one last time, her voice shaking but firm. The only damage here is what you're doing to yourself. I came here with nothing but good intentions. I've admired your work. I've respected your talent. But this is beneath you, Jennifer, and I feel sorry for you. Jennifer's face turned red. Don't you dare feel sorry for me. I don't need your pity. I don't need anything from you. Clearly, you need something, Emma said quietly, because happy, secure people don't act like this. I hope you figure out what's really bothering you, because it's not me. Get out, Jennifer screamed, pointing toward the exit. Get off my stage. Get out of my studio. Emma walked toward the exit with as much dignity as she could muster, her head held high despite the tears streaming down her face. The audience sat in stunned silence, unsure whether to applaud or simply process what they'd just witnessed. That's right. Walk. Away! Jennifer continued shouting. Go back to your ivory tower. See if I care. Emma paused at the edge of the stage and turned back one final time. I'm sorry for whatever I did to make you feel this way. I truly am. But I won't apologize for my career or my success. I've earned it, just like you've earned yours. My success? Jennifer laughed maniacally. My success is nothing compared to yours, and you know it. That's the whole point. That's what you people never understand. You people? Emma repeated, her voice barely above a whisper. Wow. Okay, I think we're done here. As Emma walked off the stage, Jennifer collapsed back into her chair, breathing heavily. The producers were frantically signaling to cut to commercial, but Jennifer waved them off. Let them see, she muttered. Let everyone see what it's really like out here. The audience remained frozen, unsure how to react. Some people were crying, others looked angry, a few were already getting up to leave. Emma made it to the backstage area where her publicist immediately wrapped her in a hug. "Are you okay?" her publicist whispered. Emma shook her head, unable to speak. The tears were flowing freely now that she was out of view of the cameras. Her whole body was shaking. Back on stage, Jennifer was staring at the empty guest chair, a strange mix of triumph and regret crossing her face. "She couldn't handle the truth," she said to the audience, her voice hollow. "None of them can." A brave audience member stood up. "That wasn't the truth. That was just mean." Jennifer's head snapped toward the woman. "Excuse me?" "You were mean to her," the woman continued, her voice growing stronger. "She didn't deserve that. None of what you said was fair." Other audience members began nodding and murmuring in agreement. Jennifer's face paled as she realized she was losing the room. "You don't understand," Jennifer said weakly. "You don't know what it's like to be passed over, to be told you're not good enough, to watch other people get everything you've worked for." "Maybe we do," another audience member called out, "but that doesn't mean we take it out on innocent people who haven't done anything wrong." Jennifer stood up abruptly. "This interview is over. Everyone out. Now." The audience began filing out, many of them shaking their heads in disappointment. The producers were having heated discussions in the control room, already knowing this footage would be the talk of the industry for months. In her dressing room, Emma sat on the couch, still trying to catch her breath. Her makeup was ruined, her carefully styled hair disheveled from running her hands through it in stress. "I can't believe that just happened," she said to her publicist. "What did I do? Why did she come at me like that?" Her publicist shook her head. "You did nothing wrong. That was all her. Every bit of it." "But she seemed so angry," Emma continued. "Like genuinely deeply angry. At me specifically. I've never even had a conversation with her before today." "Some people carry around a lot of pain," her publicist said gently, "and sometimes they direct it at the wrong targets. You were just in the wrong place at the wrong time." Emma wiped her eyes with a tissue. "I tried to be understanding. I tried to de-escalate, but she just kept pushing and pushing." "You handled it with grace," her publicist assured her. "Much more grace than she deserved. The internet is going to have a field day with this, but you'll come out of it looking like the bigger person. Because you were." Back in the studio, Jennifer sat alone on her stage, the lights still bright, but the audience gone. The silence was deafening. She knew she'd crossed a line. Multiple lines, actually. But pride wouldn't let her admit it out loud. A producer approached cautiously. "Jennifer, we need to talk about what just happened." "Not now," Jennifer said, her voice flat. "Yes, now," the producer insisted. "That was completely unacceptable. You attacked a guest on live television. Do you understand the ramifications of this?" Jennifer finally looked up, and for the first time, there was a flicker of fear in her eyes. "She'll be fine. She's Emma Stone. She's untouchable." "This isn't about her," the producer said firmly. "This is about you. Your reputation. Your show. You just committed career suicide on camera." The weight of those words seemed to hit Jennifer all at once. Her shoulders slumped. I couldn't stand it anymore. Watching people like her succeed so easily while people like me have to fight for scraps. "Emma Stone has worked just as hard as anyone else," the producer said. "And even if she hadn't, that doesn't give you the right to humiliate her. She was your guest. She trusted you." Jennifer put her head in her hands. I know I messed up." "Messed up doesn't begin to cover it," the producer said. "You're going to have to do some serious damage control, starting with an apology." "An apology?" Jennifer looked up sharply. "To her?" "To her, to the audience, to everyone," the producer said. "And it better be sincere, because right now, you look like a bully who attacked someone for no reason." Meanwhile, Emma had composed herself enough to leave the building. As she walked to her car, A few staff members stopped her to apologize for what had happened. Their kindness made her tear up again. "Thank you," she told each of them. "I appreciate that more than you know." In the car ride home, Emma stared out the window, replaying the entire encounter in her mind. She kept trying to pinpoint what she could have done differently, even though logically, she knew she wasn't at fault. "Stop blaming yourself," her publicist said, reading her mind. "You were ambushed. There was nothing you could have done to prevent that meltdown." "I just keep thinking about what she said," Emma murmured, "about taking roles from other people. Do you think... She's right? Do you think I'm taking opportunities from others?" "Absolutely not," her publicist said firmly. "You earn every role you get. You audition, you prepare, you deliver. That's how this works. Jennifer's anger isn't about you. It's about an industry that's often unfair, but you're not the personification of that unfairness. You're just a talented actress doing your job." Emma nodded slowly, wanting to believe it. "I hope she finds peace with whatever she's going through. I really do. Because that kind of anger, it's going to eat her alive." Back at the studio, Jennifer sat in her dressing room, staring at herself in the mirror. The face looking back at her seemed like a stranger. How had she become this person? This bitter, angry person who lashed out at someone who'd done nothing wrong. Her phone was already blowing up with messages from her team, from friends, from industry contacts. She couldn't bring herself to look at them. She knew what they'd say. She knew how bad this was. A knock on the door made her jump. "What?" she called out. Her manager entered, his face grave. "We need to talk. Now." Jennifer braced herself. I know what you're going to say." "Do you?" her manager asked. "Because I'm not sure you understand the full scope of what you just did. That footage is already being clipped and shared everywhere. Twitter is on fire. Instagram is exploding. And it's not in your favor, Jennifer. Not even a little bit." Jennifer's stomach dropped. "What are they saying?" "They're calling you jealous, unprofessional, cruel," her manager listed off. "Some are even calling for the show to be canceled. Emma's fans are furious. Industry people are distancing themselves from you. This is bad, Jennifer. This is really, really bad." Tears finally started falling down Jennifer's cheeks. "I didn't mean for it to go that far. I had all these feelings built up, and when she walked out there, looking so perfect and put together, I just snapped." "You need to make this right," her manager said. "And I mean immediately. We're drafting an apology statement right now, but it needs to come from you. It needs to be genuine." "What if she doesn't accept it?" Jennifer asked quietly. "Then you deal with the consequences," her manager said bluntly. "But you have to try. You have to at least try to make amends for what you did." Jennifer nodded, wiping her tears. "Can I call her? Personally?" Her manager considered this. "I can reach out to her team and ask, but don't be surprised if they say no. You hurt her, Jennifer. You humiliated her on national television. She has every right to never speak to you again." The reality of her actions was finally sinking in. Jennifer had let her jealousy and frustration control her, and now she was facing the consequences. The look on Emma's face as she left the stage haunted Jennifer. The tears, the hurt, the confusion in her eyes. "I'm a horrible person," Jennifer whispered. "You made a horrible choice," her manager corrected, "but you can choose to do better from here. Start by taking responsibility. No excuses, no justifications. Just own what you did and apologize, sincerely." Jennifer took a deep breath. "Okay, I'll do whatever I need to do." Emma's phone buzzed in her purse. Text messages from friends and colleagues were flooding in. People who had seen the interview live or caught clips online. Everyone was asking if she was okay, expressing outrage on her behalf. One message was from a fellow actress. "I cannot believe what I just watched. You handled that with such class. Are you all right?" Another from a director she'd worked with. Just saw what happened. That was completely out of line. Sending you love. Emma couldn't respond to any of them yet. She was still too shaken, too raw from the experience. Her publicist noticed her scrolling through the messages and gently took the phone from her hands. Not right now, her publicist said softly. You don't need to see all of this right now. Just focus on taking care of yourself. Meanwhile, Jennifer's manager was on the phone with the network executives. She what? The executive's voice boomed. She verbally attacked Emma Stone on live television? We're working on a statement and an apology, Jennifer's manager said. Do you have any idea how many sponsors are calling? This is a PR nightmare. Jennifer could hear every word. Each one felt like a knife. She destroyed everything in minutes. We have advertisers asking if we condone bullying, the executive continued. I want a formal apology recorded by tomorrow morning. I want her in therapy, and I want to know if there's any chance of legal action from Emma's team. Back in the car, Emma's publicist was fielding calls. Networks wanting statements. Journalists wanting interviews. No comment at this time, her publicist said repeatedly. Emma needs space. We'll release a statement when she's ready. Emma stared. Out the window. Do you think I should press charges? Her publicist looked surprised. For what? I don't know, Emma said tiredly. Can she really just attack someone and face no consequences? She's facing consequences, her publicist assured her. Her career is taking a massive hit. As for legal action, staying above it all will serve you better. Emma nodded. I don't want to sue her. I just want to forget this happened. Taking the high road makes you look even better, her publicist agreed. At the studio, producers were in emergency meeting. Each viewing of the footage made it worse. We can't air this, one producer said. People were there. They're talking online. We have to address it, another countered. The head producer rubbed his temples. We air Jennifer's apology tomorrow. We put the show on hiatus. Damage control. Jennifer, listening outside, felt her world crumble. Hiatus meant cancellation. Her dream was ending. A production assistant approached. Ms. Hudson? Makeup for the apology video. Jennifer followed numbly. The makeup artist worked in silence. I'm sorry you had to see that, Jennifer said quietly. The woman paused. It's not me you need to apologize to. The truth hit hard. I know. You're right. Across town, Emma collapsed onto her couch. Her cat jumped beside her, purring. The comfort made her cry again. Her phone rang. Her mother. Hi, Mom. Baby, I just saw what happened. Are you okay? I'm okay. Just tired. That woman had no right. You were gracious, and she attacked you. She must have had a reason, Emma said. Her reasons don't justify her actions, her mother said firmly. Don't make excuses for her. Emma sighed. I keep replaying it, trying to figure out what I could have said differently. Nothing. This was not your fault. Say it. This was not my fault. This was not my fault, Emma repeated, her voice breaking. Now, do you want me to come stay with you tonight? Emma shook her head, though her mother couldn't see. No, I just need to be alone. I'm one phone call away. Anytime. I love you, Mom. I love you too, sweetheart. After hanging up, Emma turned on the television, avoiding the news, avoiding anything that might show clips from the interview. Back at the studio, Jennifer stood in front of a camera. Her apology had been written and rewritten. Take one, the director called. Jennifer cleared her throat and began. Today, I let my emotions get the better of me, and I deeply hurt someone who did not deserve it. Emma Stone came to my show as a guest, trusting that she would be treated with respect and kindness. Instead, I attacked her personally and professionally. There is no excuse for my behavior. She paused, fighting tears. The director gave her a nod to continue. I allowed my own insecurities and frustrations to manifest as anger directed at an innocent person. Emma handled the situation with grace and dignity that I failed to show. I am truly, deeply sorry for the pain I caused her. I am sorry to my audience who expected better from me. I am sorry to everyone who believed in me and this show. I have a lot of work to do on myself, and I am committed to doing that work. I hope that one day Emma might find it in her heart to forgive me, though I know I don't deserve it. Cut, the director said. That's good. We'll clean it up in editing. Jennifer stepped away from the camera, feeling hollow. The apology was sincere, but would it matter? Could words ever take back what she'd done? Her phone buzzed with a text from her mother. Saw the news. Call me when you can. I love you. Jennifer couldn't call her mother. Not yet. She couldn't bear to hear the disappointment in her voice. Instead, she sat in her dressing room, staring at the wall, replaying the interview in her mind, just as Emma was doing, miles away. What happens when... she muttered to herself, remembering how these disaster stories always began. What happens when you let jealousy destroy everything you've built? It only took 31 seconds. 31 seconds to ruin everything. A knock interrupted her spiral. Her assistant poked her head in. Jennifer, your therapist is online too. She said you called her. Jennifer had called her therapist in a moment of panic an hour ago. She'd forgotten. Tell her I'll call her back. She said it's important you talk now, the assistant pressed gently. She's worried about you. Jennifer picked up the phone reluctantly. Dr. Martinez? Jennifer, her therapist's warm voice came through. Talk to me. What happened today? And for the first time since the interview, Jennifer let herself fully break down. She sobbed into the phone, barely able to form coherent words. I ruined everything, Jennifer cried. I destroyed that poor woman for no reason. You made a terrible choice, Dr. Martinez said, but that doesn't make you a terrible person. You can come back from this, Jennifer. You can grow from this. How? Jennifer asked desperately. One step at a time, Dr. Martinez said, starting with genuine accountability, understanding where this anger came from. Can you come see me tomorrow? First thing? Yes, Jennifer agreed. Yes, I'll be there. After the call, Jennifer felt slightly more grounded. She wasn't okay, not by a long shot, but at least she had a path forward. Emma, meanwhile, had fallen asleep on her couch, exhausted from crying. When she woke up a few hours later, it was dark outside. One message caught her eye from an actress who'd experienced her own public humiliation. You'll get through this, the message read. You handled it perfectly. You showed everyone who you really are. Emma smiled slightly. Maybe that was true. Maybe she'd actually shown her strength. She'd stayed calm, tried to de-escalate, and only left when it became clear there was no reasoning with Jennifer. She hadn't stooped to Jennifer's level. Her publicist had been right. She'd won by taking the high road. The next morning, both women woke to a media frenzy. Jennifer's apology video had been released at dawn, and the response was mixed. Some people appreciated her taking responsibility. Others felt it was too little, too late. Many were waiting to see what Emma would say. Emma released her statement through her publicist just before noon. Yesterday was difficult, but I appreciate the overwhelming support I've received. I hope everyone involved, including Jennifer, finds peace and healing. I have no further comment on the matter. Short, simple, classy. It was perfect. The story dominated headlines for days. Everyone had an opinion about what happened on that stage. But through it all, two things remained clear to anyone who watched that interview. Emma Stone had been wronged, and she'd handled it with remarkable grace. And Jennifer Hudson had let her demons get the best of her, resulting in one of the most shocking talk show moments in television history.